Welcome to another edition of Points of Interest, brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. My name is Paul Boucher. I'm the President and CEO of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And as we do each week, we present you with the activities going on in the Upper Valley this particular week and have a special guest who speaks on a particular project or event or things that they're involved in. And this week being no different, we have Don MacMeekin with us from the Lebanon Chamber of Lebanon Rotary Club. Yes, the Lebanon Rotary Club.
Almost gave me a promotion.
Yes. Who will speak to us about an ongoing project that the Rotary Club has done for years and upcoming again this year. So to begin this week is unfortunately a time of the year that I don't really like because all of the activities are winding down in the park, particularly the concerts and those type of things. The Monday night series of Concert in the Park were done. Last week was a great week. We had the Trombone Stompers. It was a Dixieland band, and they really got the group going real well. And so they that ended on Monday, this past Monday. And but this coming Thursday, again, will be the last concert from the Front Porch series. And this week is going to be Michelle Wilson, and she is a blues and jazz singer, and that will be interesting. This is on Thursdays, beginning at 7 p.m. here in Colburn Park in downtown Lebanon. Earlier that day, we have the Farmers Market. Now, they begin at 4 o'clock, 4 to 7, every Thursday. Now, they will continue in the park until the 26th of September. And then in October, through the winter, they will do just once a month at the Lebanon Methodist Church, which is right here on Bank Street in Lebanon, just up here from our office, right next door to the school, the Bank Street School. So that will continue, and this particular week for entertainment, they have entertainment themselves, is Sam Moffett, who will be performing for them. Story time, which is normally on Wednesdays, tonight being the last Wednesday of the month, and that is 12 to 12:45, and that is sponsored by the Lebanon Library. The Creative Movement School of Dance completed their activities. They do on Wednesdays also, Tuesdays, I'm sorry, in the park, and they are done this particular week. Activities, though, in Enfield Shaker Museum has a program for children, and that began in July 6th, and will end in September 21st. And that is at the Shaker Museum, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and it's a great time to bring the kids out and see how the Shakers lived and activities they have for the kids to do while they're there. And so that is in Enfield at the Shaker Museum, and that will continue on. We have this particular week on Friday, Ava Gallery is having a reception at 5 to 7 p.m. and with a new exhibit that they're opening up. Its exhibit features chisel, brush, and pen works by Winky Kelsey. And that is on Friday from 5 to 7. On Saturday, art opening in Meriden and Adrian Duckworth Museum. That's on the Bean Road. If you're going up to 120 South and you get to the blinker in Meriden, take a left, that's the Bean Road, and it's right there. And the topic is Service to the Birds, Meriden's Bird Story, and it celebrates the 100th anniversary of the sanctuary, A Bird Mask. It's a book written in 1913 by a Cornish colony resident, Percy McKay, and that is this coming Saturday. Other farmers markets, if you want to go to them, we have Saturday again, Cornish is having theirs 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, right on Route 120. Can't miss it when you get to the flats by the store. Free admissions, and quite a few vendors there. Enfield has their farmers market on Saturday also, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. At the community building, and that's right there on Route 4 as you get into. And they have handcraft works, meats and eggs, And as all of the farmers markets, now that the produce is coming in, a lot of things there. And here in Lebanon in particular, a lot of prepared foods that people, vendors bring in. And a lot of people just wait for that and hit the farmers market, and then they take part in the concert that evening and the music during that day. So it's an all from 4 to 9 p.m. The park is full and a lot of activity. Something a little different on Saturday too is the Scottish Festival and Celtic Fair in Queechee, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and that's at the Queechee Polo Field on the Dewey's Mill Road. A day of sheepdogs, pipe bands, athletics, and children's games. And that's always interesting. I know my kids really enjoyed it when we used to take them there for that. It's also the last week of the Lebanon Municipal Pool. Those of you who use the pool, Saturday will be the last day. The pool is open daily, 1 o'clock till 7 p.m. And it's a great venue. The pool is about 3 years old, and the city of Lebanon built it, probably 3 years ago. And it's a beautiful venue, a smaller pool for the young kids, and then the larger pool, and you can do lap swim and that type of thing. So they're coming to a close, and that is this coming Saturday, and they will close at 7 p.m. there. So there's a lot of activities going on in the Upper Valley this coming week. You can go out to also a little, if you want to meander out a little bit, to St. Gaudens out in Cornish, and they have a program going on all the time. This week here is the Portrait Bus. It's a part 3 of a program that they're doing out there, and that is for ages 16 and up, and the program runs from 1 to 4 p.m. Out there. And they also have concerts. A lot of people love the concerts that go on out there. And this week is going to be a consecration and monument, Robert Gould Shaw and the Massachusetts Regiment. So that would be a real good take. And that is at 4:30 p.m. out at the St. Gaudens Museum. It's the only national park in New Hampshire that I'm told, and so that's a great place to go. Ava Gallery, they're having their 20th annual juried summer exhibition, and that will conclude next week, and they're there from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and these are all juried pieces that the artists have brought in, and you get a chance to go in and vote for the ones that you like the best. And so that is there at the museum. Coming up in September, early September, at the Lebanon Opera House, we have the Queen Extravaganza. Apparently, probably after my time, because I don't remember the Queen, but it's supposed to be quite a performance, and they are going to sell out, I'm sure. And this is again on the 8th of September. It's a Sunday, and the performance is at 7:30 p.m. at the Lebanon Opera House. And fall classes, going back to Ava Gallery, fall classes for children, teens, and adults at Ava Gallery will be beginning in the fall, and do something in the fall and over the winter time. And so you can call them and get more information at 448-3117 to register for a course and take a course at the Ava Gallery and learn how to either paint, sculpture, or things of that nature. So even though we're dwindling down on some of the activities, some will be going on into the fall, and then winter activities will begin, which I hate to see coming, but we'll have that. As far as the Chamber goes, the Chamber of Commerce will be celebrating their 97th annual meeting on October 10th, and we're going to have the Director of the Small Business Administration for New Hampshire, who will be our guest speaker, and will be talking about the Affordable Care Act, or better known as the Obama Health Plan. A lot of confusion, and so she really, I had a seminar with her a couple of weeks ago, and she's excellent. And so if anybody is interested in attending that, learning, particularly if you're in the business community, because it'll explain the requirements or what the small business or medium-sized business have to do, she will explain that. So that is going to be on October 10th at the Fireside Inn in West Lebanon, beginning at 8:30. So I'd suggest if you're interested to give us a call, and you do not have to be a chamber member, but a business community person who needs to get, would like more information. And we've just booked Governor Hassan, who will be speaking to us in November. It'll be November 19th, and this will be at the Courtyard by Marriott. This is, we do this, has been going back to the 1950s, when Governor Lane Dwinell was governor and a resident of Lebanon, and began doing a talk on the state of the state, and on the off year of elections, so that elections didn't conflict with comments or anything that the governor had to say. So this year is not an election year, so Governor Hassan will be with us for a noontime luncheon. And this is co-sponsored by the Hanover Area Chamber of Commerce with the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. So if anybody's interested in that venue, also please give us a call. And she'll give us an experience of her first full year as governor and her successes and struggles that a new governor always has to put up with. So those are the activities going on in the Upper Valley this week and actually into November. One of the things we ask of the public is in December, the Chamber does the annual holiday social. And at its social, they present the Citizen of the Year and Business of the Year award. And we're always looking for input from the community. Some company or some person that you think is deserving, who behind the scenes, particularly Citizen of the Year, you don't read about them in the newspaper or see them on TV or whatever, and do a lot of work for the community in the background. We're looking for names. And so, and a business that was particularly good to you, or one that you have been a customer of for a number of years because of the business, submit that name to us. Email it to us at Lebanon Chamber, and we'd be glad to bring it to the committee for their pick, and that will be announced in December, and the name is not revealed until that particular date, and so it's going to be a secret until that time. So we ask your input with that. So today we have Don MacMeekin, who is from the Lebanon Rotary Club. I'm going to get it, yeah, Don. Rotary Club has been doing a Rotary auction for as long as 30 some odd years that I can remember.
This is the 34th year.
34th, and having been, I hate to say it, involved with the first one, but the whole venue has changed, and Don chaired the event last year. He did such a great job that he was asked to do it again, and I hope you do as well, and you'll be the perennial person in the club.
I think I'll retire after this year.
You will retire. The details are just mind-boggling of what Don has to do, and with the cooperation of the Rotarians from the Lebanon Club. So Don, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Paul.
And date, time, and...
This year's auction is going to be held October 5th. The gala will be October 5th. We actually start our online auction and bidding about 2 weeks before that. So if you're interested in doing the online auction, you would want to go ahead and register at Bidding for Good, just as you've done in the past years. And then the gala event will be the the 5th of October, starting at 6:30 at the new Hypotherm facility. They've donated the use of their cafeteria and lobby to accommodate our auction. And at that event, we will have a silent auction and a live auction with the Roberts Brothers Auctioneering. And we will be supported by a number of community businesses who will be providing us food and beverage. There'll be a beer tasting and a wine tasting. And we have 6 local restaurants, not yet to be named. We're saving that for future advertising.
Excellent.
And so they will be providing us hors d'oeuvres and a special dessert tray. So we'll have a fun evening of a little bit of friendship, a little bit of competitive bidding, a little bit of rivalries here and there, and hopefully we'll be very successful. Last year we raised a considerable amount of money, total of $17,000 that went back into the community this year. We're hoping to raise over $20,000 this year. And this year's beneficiary is a very new program. It's a worldwide program, but it's very new to this area. It's called mental health first aid. And it's designed to help general members of the public identify people who are in distress and need some outside intervention to get their lives back on track. And that we brought and delivered to the community by West Central Behavioral Health. And we're hoping to raise money so that we can sponsor that program and prevent things like Newtown and Columbine, so we can identify people in distress and get them the help they need, and rather than have them act out in a way that's unacceptable.
We've had Ron Michaud on the show prior. We talked a little bit about that and the suicide rate in this particular area, and area meaning the Lebanon, greater Lebanon area, and so the need is there considerably for that.
I think it's an area of need that and most people in the general public don't feel like they can intervene in because they don't have any experience. And by running through one of these courses that we'll be funding, it'll help people in the general public be able to know what to do when they identify someone who is challenged. So who to reach out to and how to reach out to the individual, and try to marry up the two, the service provider and the individual.
So all the funds will be going to that particular program.
More than half of the funds will go to that one particular program. So that's kind of our flagship beneficiary. And then the Rotary Club, as you know, does a number of philanthropic events during the year. We funded parks, and we funded some new billboards on the walking trail. We're going to do some more sponsoring of the Greenway. So we reach out in a number of different ways to the community to help support the businesses and the business community and those that reside here to make this the best place to live. So that's our stated goal.
So the event will be at Hypotherm, but people will be able to go online and see what the items are. It's a tremendous.
We had over 300 items last year.
Wow. And if I can't see this year being any different, but over the past years, those items went for 50 to 60% of retail value. So there's some great buys there for people doing it. A lot of people do their Christmas shopping. We have a number of golf courses that donate foursomes and carts. We have ski areas with tickets for that. Plenty of dinner for twos at different places. Years back, and I don't know if we have any in the last few years, but fuel companies were able to provide like 100 gallons of oil or something, or somebody even contributed chopped wood, dry cord wood, that type of thing.
We're hoping to get those, but we've also put a new initiative out where we're trying to identify 5 or 6 locations that are destination locations, like a ski chalet or a condominium on the Florida Shore Panhandle. And we're going to try to build packages around a week's stay at one of those event venues and have it be a donation to the Rotary Club. That's something new that we're trying to build this year. That just started, so we're not quite sure how successful that's going to be, but we think that will add a great deal to the valuability of the auction.
How many people came last year?
Last year we had 156 people.
Wow, and that was a good turnout.
It was very good turnout.
And those are coming back because they had such a great time.
I hope everybody comes back and brings a friend.
Brings a friend, relative, or whatever. And so even if you have bid on bidding for good for items that you want, you can still come and enjoy yourself, really have a great time, and bid on the silent auction that's there, and or the live auction that they're going to have.
You can mix it up in the competition for the live auction.
And be there for the wine tasting.
Be there for wine tasting and the beer tasting and the wonderful food that I'm sure will be there this year.
I have to keep my wife away from silent auctions. She just loves silent auctions, and she'll go up and down that row, and if she wants a particular item.
We had people blocking items last year because they put their bid in and wanted to see if they could protect it as best they could. So,
if somebody went on bidding for good, won a particular item, They can pick it up at Hypotherm that day?
They can pick it up at Hypotherm on the day of the auction, beginning at noon. We'll close the auction online at noon, and we'll have everything over at Hypotherm so that it can be picked up while we're setting up for the gala. And so if there are items, you can go to Lebanon Rotary. .com and that .org, and that will get you to some of the information about the auction. The gala tickets are $25 a piece. We reduced the price this year, so we're trying to get more people in. So we're doing everything we can to kind of make this an annual event that grows and really builds a camaraderie and a fun time in everybody's calendar.
And also too, and this has over the years been the same thing, it's one project where all Rotarians participate.
That's correct.
And they turn out and work hard, as you can imagine, and with the details I mentioned earlier, from now, late August, until the event.
They've been working since April.
Since April, really?
We had our first committee meeting in April, and we determined then what our format was going to be and our timelines for getting our request out. All the business community should have received their request for support of this by making a contribution to the auction, and then we'll take those packages and build bid packages around as best we can. So I've got my facilities team working to make sure that we've got the gala set up right. I've got my solicitation team working, making sure we're getting gifts in. We've got a ticket selling team coming up that's going to start activating their work in the next week or two. So it's all getting very busy and very excited right now. So, it's been quiet and relaxed, but now
that the crunch is on, yes.
The adrenaline will run.
And so the date again that it will be on Bidding for Good?
Bidding for Good begins in September 25th and runs through October 5th and ends at noon. And then the auction, the gala event, which includes the silent auction and the live auction and the food tasting, beer and wine tastings, starts at 6:30 on the 5th at the Hypotherm new cafeteria at 71 Heater Road. And we'll have plenty of signage so you can't get lost getting in there. But it's a beautiful facility, and it's going to be kind of fun for everybody to see this, probably the newest manufacturing facility in the area
yes.
for years.
It is, yeah.
So.
And plenty of parking.
Yes, plenty of free parking.
So, not being a totally adept at computers myself, I will be able, once I get on, I will be able to see what the highest bid is on a particular item.
You'll be able to see a listing of all the items, and most will have pictures.
Oh, wonderful.
And you will know what the high bid is, and you'll know what the next bid is. If an item has not been bid on, there will be a minimum bid to get started.
I see. And so I can, if an item is at $25, I want that item, I want to bid it up, and it's got to be in $5 increments?
$5 increments.
$5, I want to bid $30, I can do it right there
It's
on Bidding
point
for
and
Good.
click.
And then, do they have to call, I know in years past we've assigned a number to the bidder.
You have to go online and register.
Okay.
So you have to go on to Bidding for Good or LebanonRotary.org.
Okay,
Will take you to the site.
okay,
And then you can register, and then once you're registered, when bidding opens, you'll get notified that the bidding is open, and you'll be able to look at the list of items before the bid openings, and then it'll run for the next 2 weeks and close on the 5th of October.
so basically, if I registered that, they give me a number, is that how that works?
Yes.
And then I use that number when I bid?
You'll have a bidding number.
I'll have a bidding number, so
Right.
they'll know that I bid a certain amount of.
It'll have all that'll track all the information, so when you bid your number, it's gonna know how you're gonna pay for it, it's gonna know who's getting it, it knows the mailing address to send it to, so that's part of your registration. And so when you put in your bidding number on an item, it says, okay, we know that Paul Boucher has bid this item, and here's what we're gonna charge your credit card, if you're the winner,
I see,
okay?
and if you're not, then.
If you're not, then it goes away.
It goes away, okay.
None of that information is saved.
And you're not limited to bidding on one item?
No, you can bid on all 200 or 300 items, and when we get to the live and silent auction, you can bid on all of those if you want to.
Also.
I hope you win them all.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. You know, as I mentioned earlier, those that really get attention is the restaurants. Dinner for twos are a big item. Ski areas.
Ski areas are the one I was going to, they're a big item around here.
And
the golf.
And the golf.
Those
yeah.
have always been ones that have been higher in retail value, close to retail value almost every year.
But that doesn't say that we're limited to those items. We have something from, a lot of retail.
Lots of retail stores, lots of out of the area stores, which surprised me,
Oh.
and a lot of the local craftsmen. Have gotten in the past handmade pottery, artwork that are done by local artists from out of the Ava Gallery, and some who are not in the galleries yet. We had a young man last year who did a graphic artist presentation that we sold as part of the auction. It was his donation, 16-year-old boy.
Wow.
So it was really kind of neat to see.
And diversified.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very, very broad-based as to what's available and who's donating.
In years past too, we have been on the air with the radio and such. Do we do that anymore?
We're doing the radio ads, but we're not doing the bidding online on the air.
On the day?
No,
Okay.
that became very cumbersome and very difficult to get staffed. And so we think the bidding, the online bidding, the silent auction and the live auction actually is more beneficial to camaraderie in the community, developing a sense of community, and helping us build the coffers for our charities.
Yeah, excellent. One of the projects that Rotary did this summer for local charities also actually was for the senior center, I think is what we
Yes.
it was a
Pie for breakfast.
pie buffet or whatever. It was on the 4th of July.
Yep.
With all the activities going on in the park, and I can't remember, 65, 70 pies.
65 pies, and they were all gone by 2 o'clock.
They were all gone by 2 o'clock. You paid so much to come in,
Mhm.
and you could eat all the pie you wanted.
Absolutely.
And if you liked it, some came back the second, paid their admission again. And so, as you say, that all the pie, and it was not necessarily fruit pies like apple pie, blueberry pie, that type of thing. We had
I baked 2 quiche.
quiche.
And they
was-
didn't
was
kill
one.
anybody.
And you did, so that type of thing too. And then there was soda, coffee, and that type of thing. So my understanding is that will be the same event will go on next year. And
But we should put a plug in here for membership. If people,
Oh, yeah.
if this sounds like fun, doing
Yes.
these things and doing the community outreach, Rotary Club of Lebanon would love to have you as a member. So look into it and come visit one of our Rotarians, and I'll bet you we can find a way to get you into the club.
Sure. Again, as you mentioned, go to the website and find out who the members are.
That's right.
And the Lebanon Rotary Club meets every Thursday at noontime at the Dwinell Room, which is at Harvest Hill at Alice Beckley Hospital. And it's 12 o'clock to 1:30.
Right.
Even if the governor or the president is there, they are told, 1:30, people get up and go. That's it.
Bell rings.
The bell rings and out we go. And we're involved in all kinds of other projects. These are, fundraising that we, as Don said, the contributions that we do to the community. We do international projects. We're involved with a water project in Africa where 2 of our members went there. And with sometimes some projects, somebody has an idea, the African one in particular, our monies that we raise is matched by district, it's matched by the area, and by the time it gets to Rotary International, it's like 10 times, our 10,000 is 100,000 by the time, all the sponsorships.
And the disaster relief at LacMeekin in Canada, in Quebec.
Yes.
We're involved in helping raise funds for helping those people. 67 people or families were affected by that, and I think we need to. That's part of our outreach, and some of the funds from last year went there as well.
Went up there. Because we are one of the, maybe 1 or 2 in the world that are a trans country
Trans-
district. We have some in Sherbrooke, we have some in Montreal, and Drummondville is to the north. And they belong to our particular district. And we get together once a year and talk about Rotary business and
We have a few
libations.
laughs here
Yes,
and
a few libations in between.
That's true.
And so we have a great time. So I'm glad you brought that up, Don. We're always looking for new members who are civic-minded, able to do the schedule that of the 12 to 1:30 and participate in more so in the community. So we'd love to have you. And if you're like me, maybe can't find the website, call me here at the Lebanon Chamber at 448-1203. And I'll be glad to hook you up with a member, or even myself will be able to do that. So Don, thank you very much for being with us today.
Paul, thanks
And,
very much for the opportunity.
Wish you luck in this year and
Success, please.
and success, yeah, and do a great job so that you're going to be asked again next year.
And I can respectfully decline.
I hope
2 years is
I
enough.
can imagine. The details are just unbelievable. I hope you have somebody in the background to take over.
I do. I have next year's replacement already picked and working.
Very good, excellent. So it's another program of Points of Interest brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And we'll be back next week with another exciting program. Until then.